We want to turn this age from the age of the church age, to the age of the kingdom of 1,000 years. This is why the Lord called us to do this recovery. He wants to prepare us to be His bride. When His bride is ready, He will return. Now, don't you want to be a part of His bride? Absolutely, I do also. All right, now, let's go straight to the outline. Number 1 says, God's desire is to end this age and bring in the age of the kingdom. In order for God to accomplish this, He must have His dispensational instrument. Now, saints, this is why our brother, and we're all burdened for this, why we want to have a new revival. When we talk about having a new revival, we're not talking about the revivals like they are in Christendom. We're talking about a revival that will turn this age from the church age, the age of grace, to the age of the kingdom. And so this is always in front of me. These three aspects, that we need to be those who arrive at the high peak of the divine revelation. We want to be those who corporately enter into living the life of a God-man. And we want to be those who enter into Christ's wonderful shepherding in His heavenly ministry. We enter into these three aspects, and the Lord will turn the age. He will turn the age. And, I don't know what to say, saints. I shared this with the leading brothers, but there was this, I'll just say this just in case there's any germs out there. There was this terrible saying going around that, the Latter-day Way is probably His unfinished legacy. That is not true at all. If you say that, you're implying that you've already arrived at the high peak of the divine revelation. You've already entered into the God-man living. Can you have the confidence to say that you live the life of a God-man every minute of every day? How about, brother? Neither do I. I haven't arrived yet. Brother Nee made this statement. He said, if you say that you're Philadelphia, the moment you say that, you're not Philadelphia. You're Laodicea. So we need to arrive. We need to aspire to arrive at the high peak of the divine revelation. We need to aspire to fully enter into the God-man living and live the life of God-man, and we need to aspire to enter into Christ's heavenly ministry, which is shepherding according to God. Now, that shepherding, it includes the God-ordained way. It's beginning, nourishing, perfecting, and building. And I don't know if you ever thought about this, but all these 4 steps, beginning, nourishing, perfecting, and building, all involve love. They all involve love. The church in Philadelphia is the church of brotherly love. We want to be those who are filled with God as love, so that we love Him and love one another with Himself as love. Now, if you begin a person, don't you have to, doesn't love have to come out of you toward that person? I don't mean a natural love. I mean God as love. God as love. If you nourish a person, surely you nourish that person because you love that person with God as your love, right? When you perfect people, how can you perfect people if you don't love them with God as love? Now you might wonder, well, what about prophesying? Well, consider this. 1 Corinthians 13:1 says this. If you speak and you don't have love, you're like sounding brass or clanging cymbal. You look at the footnote, those are sounds without life. So if you don't have love in the prophesying meeting, you stand up to speak, it's like cymbals. You don't want to be like cymbals when you come to the microphone, right? You want to be filled with Christ, with the triune God and love. And that's why 1 Corinthians 14:1 begins in this way. Pursue love and desire earnestly spiritual gifts, but especially that you may prophesy. So anyway, when you talk about the stage of the church, we want to be in that stage of Philadelphia that will bring the Lord back in the church that the Lord desires. So these three aspects need to be in us all the time. Now, A says all of us should look to the Lord and pray that we'll have dispensational value to God. We need to ask ourselves what we are doing to close this dispensation and to bring in the next age, the kingdom age. This is a special time, so there is the need of special believers to do a special work. Now look at B. This is really quite striking. Those who can only say go, but not come, will have no effect. That is, they will have no dispensational value to God. Now, if I just stop there, there's a quote from Brother Washington. What did he mean by that? Well, the points under here show us. One says the writer of Hebrews did not tell the believers to go forward, but to come forward. This means that the writer was in a particular place and that he wanted his readers to come forward to the place where he was. We need to come forward to three things: to the Holy of Holies, to the throne of grace, and to God himself. Do not shrink backward, come forward. So Hebrews 4:16 says, let us come forward with boldness. What is our boldness? Our boldness is the blood of Jesus, the blood of Christ. That is our boldness. And we come forward with boldness to the throne of grace that we may receive mercy and find grace for timely help. Hebrews 10:22 tells us to come forward to the Holy of Holies. Hebrews 7:25 tells us to come forward to God through Christ. I like this. Since he always lived to intercede for us. Saints, right now, he is the only one in the universe who can intercede for each one of you personally and all of us corporately. Right now, I don't know where each of you are. I don't care what you think your condition is in. Christ is praying for you right now. He's interceding for you. He's interceding for this meeting. He's interceding for us. And then, of course, you've got Hebrews 11:6, and I love this. Well, let me come back to verse 5. Verse 5 said that Enoch, before his translation, before he was raptured, he obtained a testimony that he was well pleasing to God. And we want to take that testimony, right? It goes on to say, it says, without faith, it is impossible to be well pleasing to him. For he who comes forward to God must believe that he is. Do you believe that he is? When we think about the rapture, and we do want to be raptured before the great tribulation, right? We don't want to have to go through those last 3.5 years. That's terrible. Brother Lee likened it to, when you're going through school, and then you get to your senior year, then you have to go to summer school. And you're in a classroom with no air conditioning in Houston, Texas. That is a terrible place to be, right? But anyway, he was Houston, but he likened it to summer school. And it's even worse than summer school. Much, much worse. We don't want to be there. We are here to be Christ's overcoming bride. And so we have to believe that he is. Now, if you look at Enoch, if you go back to Genesis 5:22-24, you see the principle of the rapture of us, the bride, which is the principle of the man-child, principle of the first fruits.